Hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. Like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on in the news, and what's going on around the world. So, we're going to get into some hot topics and trying to figure out if I want to do the hot topics or just stick with this. But allow me a few moments to do my disclaimer. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I appreciate everyone for being here. Make sure you like the video as you guys come in. A person already liked it. Thank you. I appreciate you. I've been live since I think Thursday. Another good vacation. It's the holiday season. I got a lot of family stuff going on in this month, so I come on live when I can, but we're gonna definitely get into this topic right here. So just allow me a few moments to get into my disclaimer. Um, all comments are allegedly. Just give me a few seconds. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the clip. Thanks for being here, and thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21.
It's like a pump. It's just like a pump, except instead of gas, electricity comes out. They built 8 of them. $9 billion they spent for 8. 8 little hoses, $9 billion. Now, I'm sure they could have done it for about, 1/1000th of that, but it's unaffordable. The approved Governor Gavin's ridiculous. Is so ridiculous. By the way, if I didn't bring the military in, Los Angeles would be burning down right now. Be burning just like his damn house is burned down because he didn't have the water that he should have had. He had so much water. They have so much water. We had to send in the military to free up the water. And we did that right after the fires. We told them to do it in the first term. But just like that ridiculous plan, this is a plan to ban. Think of it, a plan to ban 100, and they call it the 100% ban on all new gas-powered cars and abolish 75% of the gas-powered trucks. 75%. The trucking industry saw me. They said, "Sir, it doesn't work." Number one, the trucks are so heavy. They're 2.5 times heavier than a diesel-powered truck. So one of the big truckers owns 28,000 trucks, big company, tremendous company. He said, "I go out of business immediately. I'm not going to play games." He said, "Did you explain these things to the government officials? Like the truck weighs 2.5 times more, 2.5 times more than a regular truck, a gasoline-powered diesel." And he said, based on that, we have to rebuild every bridge in the United States of America because it wasn't designed to hold cars and trucks that heavy because the batteries are very heavy. They're, probably lead. But they have a lot of things in those batteries that weigh a lot. But it's 2.5 times. It's a simple number, 2.5 times. And if you want to do this, you have to spend trillions and trillions of dollars on rebuilding every bridge in the United States, and I guess throughout the world, because they do follow us. And the big rig buses and even cement trucks, they want to abolish certain categories of truck, but they want to go 75% of all of these trucks have to be abolished almost immediately. The time is just crazy. And they don't go far. Another little problem. With a tank of diesel, you can go from New York to Los Angeles if you want to go to Los Angeles right now. But New York to Los Angeles, and you can go back a little bit. With the electric truck, you'll stop approximately 6 times. Enjoy your stop. And the truckers saw me, and I said, "Did you just explain this? Because this is like, if you explain it, if a person's reasonable for that." He said, "We explained it, they didn't care. They said, we're going all electric." They can't be stupid because anybody that can cheat on elections like them is not a stupid person. But they must hate our country. But I said to this, I said, sir, I've been buying trucks my whole damn life. He's a rough guy, smart guy. He said, I got thousands of them. I've been buying them for 50 years. And every single year they got better. They got more efficient. They got bigger. They got stronger. I build apartments in my trucks now for the drivers. I said, what's an apartment? That's on the cab. They put this in. And sir, I know you like luxury, but you wouldn't mind living in one of these. I said, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I mean, it doesn't sound too appealing, but I said, so what's the problem? He said, so I noticed one thing. For 50 years, every single year, one thing happened. They got better. They got stronger. They got more efficient. They got faster. They could carry any load. If we went to this standard, we'd go back beyond 50 years. They wouldn't go as far as a truck from 50 years ago. It would be too heavy and have all the other problems. He said, we'd be going backwards. We'd be taking a trucking industry, would be starting all over. But actually, it would be worse because it was better 50 years ago than.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate everyone for being here. Please hit the like button as you come in.
Happened in the last 4 years that President Trump. Al Bragg, a local prosecutor, his office staffed by someone in New Jersey. Jack Smith, is a special counsel, staffs his entire office with DOJ prosecutors. And then there are countless things that happen. All in writing, most of them on the docket, that require no explanation except a complete abomination of the place that the Attorney General are now and directs itself. So when people talk about this department weaponizing, it's embarrassing. Because there's no scenario in which you look at what we're doing, restoring justice, doing the right thing in every single case, and say that that's weaponization, and yet remain eerily silent about what happened for the past 3 years. I mean, you read these articles and giggle. Because it cannot be true that people really think that what they did to him, not once, not twice, I'm still counting 3, 4 times, but we're the ones that are weaponizing. So this man is not weaponizing the Department of Justice. We're not weaponizing the Department of Justice. It's the opposite. I mean, and also, nobody questions what I'm saying because it's true. Because we all lived the past 4 years. So listen.
They never want to bring up the details. But I watch the fake news. And he's weaponized. And he wants to send them to prison. He wants all this. They indicted me like 5 times. I took a mug shot. Who would have thought it turned out to my favor? Because it was a good shot. But I had to take a mug shot. It's right out there on the door. New York Post. Front page of every paper in the world. I had a mug shot. They wanted to send me. Nobody says that. They say, he's acting very, very tough. He's acting unfair. Let me tell you, if they've been nice to anybody, it's to those criminals. Because they are so good having to do with all of the things we're talking about today with violent crime. But if anything, I think this Justice Department has been so respectful of the law. Because the other Justice Department, with Rita or Lisa and all of that scum, real scum, what they did to the political opponent of a guy that has a seriously low IQ. Now, in his case, it was low based on his career, but it got real low, okay? It was descending rapidly. But what they did, go after his political opponent, is legendary. Worse than any third world country, banana republic. And what we're doing is nothing. Are you kidding? Nothing. They write stories. Why aren't they doing this? And we'll leave. I don't have to leave it up to them, but I choose to at this moment at least. But there's never been anybody treated in the history of politics. You know, they say the 2 worst treated presidents by the media, etc., was that man right there, the late, great Abraham Lincoln, and this guy right there, Andrew Jackson. They say Andrew Jackson was treated terribly. They give him number one and number two, but that was before I came along, Newt. I say I have number one times 10. Nobody's been treated like I've been treated. And I did a great job. You know, we had a great first term. And we had one of the most successful economies in history, et cetera. I rebuilt the military. We did a tremendous amount. The last part, we had a horrible thing called COVID, and we handled that well. We made ventilators for nations all over the world. We did a great job. Probably never get credit for it. Look at the therapeutics, the Regeneron, all the different things, the vaccines, all the things we did. We did a great job, but we had to focus on that. But we had the best economy in the history of our country. We're blowing it away right now. Look at the stock market. It hit another all-time high today. That's 48 days out of the few days that I've served. 48 days have already hit record highs. And we have, maybe most importantly, the number, we have now, I was saying 17, it's over $18 trillion is being poured into our country. It's because of the election and because of tariffs. Without the tariffs, you wouldn't have probably 18 cents. It's because of the tariffs, because there are no tariffs if they build in our country. And they understand that. So we have medical companies coming over. We have the AI. We're dominating China in AI. Everybody said that's impossible. We're dominating. I'm letting these massive plants build their own electric generating plants. They're becoming utilities in addition to everything. Maybe they'll make more money with that, who knows? But they're building their own electric because we have an old grid. You wouldn't be able to do that. And we're dominating China. We're dominating with AI, which seems to be the new big thing. That's the new internet. That's the new whatever. So we're very happy with the job we're doing. I'm very happy with the job they're doing. But when you tell me about attacking a political opponent, there's never been. And I'm a legitimate opponent. I watched my son. He's got the #1 best-selling book now. My son, Eric, is a wonderful kid. That guy spent so much time with subpoenas. He got more subpoenas than anybody in the history of our country. Think of it. And he's an innocent, good boy. He's a good kid. He's always been a good kid. All of my children are good. They went through hell. My children went through federal grand juries on a hoax. Think of it. You have Adam Schiff and Hillary Clinton and others make up a hoax.
I am in love. I woke up to a new friend.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for subscribing. Please hit the subscribe button. Let's continue fair use reaction clip.
I got a call from my son, Don, and he said, Dad, I'm being accused of something with Russia. I don't know anything about Russia. He didn't know anything about it. Think of it, how bad they are. They say he'll go to prison for the rest of his life. He knew nothing about it. On a hoax, the Russian hoax, Russia hoax, on a story that they made up. And they made it up in order to explain why Hillary Clinton lost an election that she lost by pretty good numbers. The second one was even better, but the third one, this one was too big to rig. It was just too big to rig. They would have rigged. They tried to rig it. But think of it, they want to send my children to jail, but they were after Don in particular. I'll never forget Adam Shifty Schiff, a total crooked guy, lying in Congress, making up a phone conversation that I have with you, totally made up. Then when he heard it was taped, he wanted to disappear. And Nancy Pelosi went crazy because they wanted to impeach me based on the conversation that was made up. When they heard the tape, everybody, I won it unanimously in the Republican Party. I got every single vote, something that never happens, and I beat it. But think of it, they want to put my son in jail for something that they made up. So they know they made it up. And they say he will serve the rest of his life in prison. These are sick, bad people. And don't tell me about us going after them. If anything, we've been very, very soft. I wouldn't be that soft, I'll tell you that. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's go. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's great to be in this beautiful Oval Office. Never looked so nice. We're getting great compliments, and you see outside how that's come out. It's been great. We make a lot of improvements to the White House, and we're doing that. One of the things you should be looking at is the Pomp Court, because that's been totally redone. So we like to preserve and make better the White House. And that's really what's happened, and we're getting tremendous reviews, and we appreciate it. But we're here for a different reason. It's called Operation Summer Heat, which is an appropriate term in light of what we're doing. And early yesterday morning, I returned from the Middle East, where we celebrated a historic agreement to end years of suffering and conflict. Amazing. Every country came together. I mean, even the enemies came out and totally endorsed it. Everybody, I've never seen anything like it. Nobody's seen anything like it. Just as we are forging peace and stability abroad, we are also restoring peace and safety and stability at home. And you see that in Washington, D.C., maybe better than any place, because we got there, and within 12 days it was very good. And within 30 days, it's been as safe as any city in the country. It's been great. Took out 1,700 people, got them out. These are career criminals in many cases, and people that shouldn't have been allowed in by the Biden administration. Historically, the summer months have been a time when violent crime soar, as you know, but not under President Trump. Today, we're announcing the results of a sweeping law enforcement effort known as Operation Summer Heat. We were in many cities that people didn't know about. We kept it a little quiet, and it had a big impact, and you'll hear that in a second. But over the past few months, FBI offices in all 50 states made crushing violent crime a top enforcement priority. That's what they did, rounding up and arresting thousands of the most violent and dangerous criminals. And these are among the most dangerous and violent people in the world. They were allowed in many cases, not in all cases, but in many cases they were allowed in by a very foolish, actually stupid, open border policy. Just anybody could have come in. They emptied out their jails, their prisons, their mental institutions. They emptied them into our country. The people behind me have done an incredible job, because if we didn't have that administration, it would have been so much easier. They allowed millions of people in this country that shouldn't have been allowed, including over 11,000 murderers, half of whom murdered more than one person. And many of them are gone now, or they're put in prison, because we don't want to have them come back. So we literally put them in our prison, which we don't want to do. But we bring them back to their countries. Working with state and local partners, the FBI arrested over 8,000 violent criminals during the course of this period. In major cities like in New Orleans, Nashville, we saw a 250% increase in arrests. And we really went after the bad ones. These include 725 individuals wanted for violent crimes against children and murderers. These arrests are in addition to the work of our historic federal task forces that make DC Safe Task Force has been unbelievable. I mean, the job they've done, it's incredible. And it's been so nice, because so many people, they're going out to dinner and having dinners. They didn't go out for 4 years. And now they're going out 3 times a week. Restaurants are opening. Restaurants are full. And usually that means a lot of good things. But restaurants that were closed are now opening up. And everybody's happy. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, actually. And everybody feels safe. You can have a child walk right through the middle of Washington, D.C., and nothing's going to happen. We were losing more than one person a week in Washington. They're being killed on an average of over one a week. The Make DC Safe Task Force has been incredible, and the Make Memphis Safe Task Force is having very similar results. It's much earlier, but we've been there for a week and a half, but I'm hearing the results are pretty incredible, and you'll hear about that. They're mobilizing more than 20 federal agencies for the largest law enforcement operation targeting violent criminals in American history. As a result of these efforts, violent crime declined nearly 20% nationwide compared to the same period last year, and it was the safest and most peaceful summer in 2 decades. And honestly, we haven't really even gotten going yet. If we didn't have to fight all of these radical left governors, we could have had Chicago taken care of, as an example. They had, in a short period of time, 4,000 murders in Chicago, and we have to listen to this man stand up and say that we're bad people. And the people of Chicago are walking around with MAGA hats. You have women, beautiful black women, walking around with MAGA hats. Please let the president in, and we don't care how he does it. They're not interested in National Guard or Army, Navy, bring them in. Marines, bring in the Marines. They just want the crime to stop. And more so because of the success that we had in D.C. I think if we didn't have that success, nobody would even believe it. So I want to congratulate all of the incredible law enforcement professionals joining us today, especially Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's terrific, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who is a fantastic legal talent. He really is. He's a great guy, too. And, of course, FBI Director Kash Patel. They have worked so hard on this and other things. Since the start of the administration, the FBI has arrested over 23,000 violent criminals, more than double the number arrested in the final year of the Biden disaster. The FBI has also destroyed or severely disrupted more than 170 organized criminal enterprises and gangs, 1,600 of the most violent gangs, and confiscated over 6,000 illegal firearms. And they've tracked down and arrested 4 fugitives on the most wanted list. 4 of the most wanted, actually 2 of them were the most wanted fugitives in the world. There's still much more work to be done, which is why the FBI continues to work alongside the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of War to defend. And Pete Hegseth has been fantastic, by the way, on this too, on other things, but on this too, to defend law and order and combat violent crime, arrest illegal aliens, and make American cities the safest in the world. And when I campaigned, I talked about crime, but I never knew that we were going to get into it like we did. You know, I mean, I used to watch these cities with the murders. Chicago recently had one deal where they had 11 murders in one weekend, and they said, well, yeah, but it was a holiday weekend. They actually told me that was the reason. Like it was okay because it was a holiday. It was Labor Day. These people are the worst. They really have to, they better, I tell you what, the people in Chicago and the people in places like that can be fixed. At some point, it gets to where you can't fix it anymore. It's too far gone. And we have some cities like that. But these are great cities that can be fixed. I'm going to be strongly recommending, at the request of government officials, which is always nice, that you start looking at San Francisco. I think we can make San Francisco. There's one of our great cities 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and now it's a mess. And we have great support in San Francisco, so I'd like to recommend that for inclusion, maybe in your next group. You get great support. Every American deserves to live in a community where they're not afraid of being mugged, murdered, robbed, raped, assaulted, or shot. And that's exactly what our administration is working to deliver. I didn't realize I was going to make this such a big factor in the I didn't really campaign. I campaigned on crime, but I never thought we'd go into every city and take a really safe city that we've all been living with for years and make them safe. And now it's like a passion for me, and it's a passion for the people behind me. So I didn't get elected. I did get elected for crime, but I didn't get elected for what we're doing. This is many, many steps above. And I want to thank Stephen Miller, who's right back in the audience right there. I'd love to have him. I love watching him on television. I'd love to have him come up and explain his true feelings. But maybe not his truest feelings. That might be going a little bit too far. But Stephen, thank you for doing an unbelievable job. And the people of this country love you, I'll tell you. And they love what you say about crime and stopping crime. So now I'd like to ask Director Patel to say a few words, and then Pam and Todd also. And I just want to congratulate them. This is an amazing thing. And we're just at the start. We're going to go into other cities that we're not talking about purposely. We're getting ready to go in. And when they go in, like Kash as an example, told me that people didn't even know. 5 months ago, they went into Chicago, and they started doing a lot of work in Chicago. And we brought the numbers down a little bit. And but that really was just preparatory work for what we're going to do with the surge. We're going to have a surge of strong, good people, patriots, and they're going to go in, they straighten it all out. So a lot of these cities we're already working on, but we don't do it with a big flavor. But in a little while, you're going to see some numbers that you're not going to believe. And I think you'll probably start with Memphis, because I'm hearing the numbers are much quicker than we even thought possible. But again, D.C. it speaks for itself. Chicago is going to be okay. We're going to save Chicago. And I told you, and I told them, a very respected man, the head of the Union Pacific, said, "Sir, save Chicago. It can be saved." And the way he said it was like, can you believe it? We're trying to save Chicago. But I understood exactly what he wants, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to save all of our cities. and we're going to make them essentially crime-free, like other countries have crime-free. If you go all over the world, you go to the world, you hear Afghanistan and you hear all these different places. Our crime in certain cities is worse than anything they can even imagine. And we're not going to have that any longer. It's going to stop, and it stops right here. Cash, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. What I'd like to do is just highlight some of the outstanding work that the men and women of the FBI have been doing. And thanks to your leadership and the mandate you were given by the American people, not only defend the homeland, but crush violent crime, you tasked us with our great partners at the Department of Justice and the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General to start making arrests and bring prosecutions and safeguard our cities. And you said it, this is just the beginning. In just 7 months, I hope the media takes a look at every one of these charts, because these are the best numbers for fighting crime in U.S. history, and it's only 7 months in. And to do that, our vehicle to do it of choice was Operation Summer Heat, which the FBI architected to go after violent criminals. And in just a 3-month span, you had 8,700 arrests of violent criminals. You had 2,200 firearms seized off the streets permanently to safeguard our communities. You had 421 kilograms of fentanyl seized. Just to put that in perspective, that's enough to kill 55 million Americans alone. You had 45,000 kilograms of cocaine seized. And thanks to our Department of Justice partners, you had 2,100 indictments in 3 months from June to September alone. Mr. President, that in and of itself would be historic for a 4-year presidency. You did that in 7 months because you let good cops be cops, and you partnered us with the right people at the Department of Justice to put the handcuffs on and bring them to court and put them in prison. And if that weren't enough, when you look at the year, for the entire 7-month period that we're talking about here, if you look at the past 4 years of the Biden administration, 16,000, 17,000, 15,000, 15,000. That's the number of arrests year over year of violent felons in this country for the Biden administration. Mr. President, in 7 months, you have 28,600 arrests of violent felons in just 7 months alone, because of your leadership and the dedication of the men and women at the FBI who want to go out there and do the job they were prevented from doing, because that department used to be weaponized and politicized. And this is what happens when you take out the fangs of weaponization. This number is historic by every metric. 28,000 people have been arrested, violent felons alone. And then when you go over there and look at some of these charts, if you don't mind, I'll just hop over here. Looking at the metrics for not just violent crime, but the homeland. Mr. President, during your administration, the FBI has found and located 5,400 children. That is a 30% increase year to date over the last administration. Violent crimes against children, arrests alone are up 10%. Gang arrests are up 210% in the last 7 months alone. And transnational organized crime, Stephen Miller has been a great partner in, is up over 12% alone. These numbers are historic just as a snapshot. But just so people don't think we're focusing on violent crime alone, the national security mission, Mr. President, with your leadership has never been stronger. We have gone after espionage activities against our main counterparts in China, Russia, and Iran. In China alone, we've had over a 50% increase in espionage arrests alone and prosecution. In Iran, we have had a 50% increase, again, in espionage cases. And in Russia, we've had a 33% increase in espionage cases alone. When it comes to counterterrorism, year to date, we have 125 arrests this year versus 100 last year, year to date alone. And when it comes to the cyber criminal activities, which are some of the largest enterprises plaguing everyday Americans, we at the FBI have put out a mission to go after cyber criminals like never before. Last year, they had in total 191. This year, you already have 252 arrests. 52 arrests of violent cyber criminals who are stealing from senior citizens, who are violating our children's rights and freedoms, and who are violating everyday Americans. These programs are record. And two of the things I'll finish with that I'm most proud of, Mr. President, this FBI. Fentanyl. As you know, it's a scourge that's killing our youth, 100,000 plus a year. To date, the FBI has seized 1,900 kilograms of fentanyl. That's enough lethal doses to kill 127 million Americans alone. To date. And if that weren't enough, Mr. President, you said we have to go after the worst of the worst. And you empowered our Department of Justice, our Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, and the Deputy Director of the FBI, led the charge, not just on Summer Heat, but he also led the charge to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. These people have been on the run for years. And in 7 months, You captured not one, not two, not three, but 4 of the FBI's most top 10 fugitives. 4. And just to put that in perspective, Mr. President, the Biden administration captured 4 in all of 4 years. You're on 7, and we're going to get to 10. We're going to get to 10 of 10. This includes a lady who murdered her 6-year-old handicapped child and fled to India. We got her in 2 months. This includes a narco trafficker. This includes a sex trafficker. Murder. And these people were on the run because of the prior administration's reckless policies that destroyed our communities. You came in and with a mandate said, go after the worst of the worst. This is just the beginning. This is what happens when you let good cops be good cops at the FBI. Mr. President, I just want to thank you for your incredible leadership, our great partnership with prosecutors who know how to bring cases and make sure these arrests stick. That's what the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General have led the charge across this country, because arrests without prosecutions are meaningless. We are deterring criminals from doing this activity. We are preventing criminals from coming into America, and we are absolutely crushing violent crime like never before and defending this homeland, sir. And not to mention, I almost forgot this one. It took you, sir, 2 weeks to get the Abbey Gate bomber. Joe Biden had 4 years to look for him. You got him in 2 weeks, thanks to the interagency effort by the FBI and the CIA, went to Pakistan, and now 13 brave warriors who were sentenced to murder because of disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. They have justice, their families have a peace of mind, and we're going to continue to find the others, Mr. President. On behalf of the FBI, sir, I just want to thank you.
Thank you very much, great job. Very good, very impressive. Pam, Texas.
President Trump, the men and women of law enforcement say 2 things to me repeatedly. First, you have taken the handcuffs off them and let them do their jobs, and you let cops be cops. That's why all this is happening. The director, the deputy director are working around the clock. All of these great men and women in the FBI, they have families at home, and they are working during a government shutdown right now. Many of them have small children. Many of them, I was talking to an agent this morning, many of them have babies at home, and they are working around the clock to not only keep our country, but our world safe. And that's what Operation Summer Heat did. Thank you, Director, and to the Deputy Director for everything you did on behalf of the Department of Justice, and you're going to continue to keep doing. And they set the stage for what we're doing in Memphis. You're going to hear a lot more about that, our joint task force next week, but they set the stage for Memphis. And last night alone in Memphis, there were almost 70 arrests. There were 12 guns seized. And there was a 70-year-old man arrested as a result of our operation in Memphis who raped a child under the age of 3. That one case makes everything we're doing worthwhile. So thank you all for being here on behalf of both of us. Thank you, President Trump.
Doug, you want to say something?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. So this is a great day, and I think there's stats that the director talked about, which are, but I want to give 2 examples of what Summer Heat has done that actually will apply hopefully to everybody in this room. The first is for over 4 years during the last administration, there was a hotel in a town, the middle of a town in Alaska, that was being run as a drug den. There were over 1,000 calls to 911 over 4.5-year period. There were multiple violent crimes, drug dealers, overdoses, and murders at this one hotel, ruining a community. Summer Heat went in there. It's not only arrested all the participants that were controlling the hotel, but seized the hotel. And so that's one example of what Summer Heat means to everyday Americans that just want to live in peace. The second example is a large narcotics trafficking group that was selling fentanyl in the state of Washington. They were shipping fentanyl using commercial aircraft, putting fentanyl pills and powder in suitcases, flying them from the southwest border, mostly Arizona, all the way to Washington. It had been going on for an extremely long time, and the entire organization was arrested. And I say those 2 examples because it's easy to look at the board and see 1,000 arrests. How much different is our communities now compared to the past 4 years? But there's actual life examples. Every one of these arrests means that our streets are safer, and that's because of the work of this administration, of President Trump and Director Patel. So I will tell you, Attorney General Bondi and I are together every day with Director Patel, figuring out ways that we can continue to do this work, and it's not going to stop. Like
the Attorney General said and like the President said, this is just the beginning or phase one or a start, whatever you want to say, but it will continue on. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Director Patel.
And Mr. President, just one last thank you from the men and women at the FBI. You found a way to get these individuals paid during a government shutdown, our 1811 agents. So on behalf of the FBI, it's a great debt that we owe you, sir. They're now allowed to pay for their families, so thank you.
And the military. Good.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, please? Brian, go ahead.
Mr. President, first of all, I know the feedback I'm getting from the American people, they want to say thank you. Law and order is not an option in this country. It's a mandate. So I know the American people thank you for that. In terms of the guns that have been taken off the street, do you have a number of how many guns were taken away from someone that had a prior felony or a previous crime that perhaps we can prosecute that? Because I know that wasn't the case under Joe Biden.
We don't take guns off the streets of people that are allowed to have guns. So every gun that we're taking off the street is because it belongs to somebody who is not allowed to have it. Could be a felon, could be somebody who here's illegally. There's all sorts of conditions. But if there's a gun taken off the streets by the FBI, it's because the person who has it is not allowed to. It's not somebody who's lawfully allowed to have it. So every single one of those guns were taken off of people that aren't allowed to have it.
And not including the FBI, all of the other agencies. ATF alone since January 20th has removed over 25,000 illegal guns off our streets just since President Trump's been in office.
Mr. President, if I could follow up on that, could there be any further conversation to have national concealed carry apply to actual DC?
Power your wellness with immunity.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification, please. There's about 68 people in the building. Please hit subscribe and thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Venezuelans votes. I want to ask you, why not have the Coast Guard stop them, which it is empowered by law to do? This way it can confirm who's on the boat and ensure that they're doing what you suspect.
Because we've been doing that for 30 years and it has been totally ineffective. They have faster boats. Some of these boats are seriously, they're world-class speedboats, but they're not faster than missiles. But we've been trying to do that for years, and so much of the drugs, 25-30% would come in through the seas. Right now we have, I would say, none coming in through the seas. In fact, I don't know about the fishing industry. If you want to go fishing, a lot of people aren't deciding to even go fishing. We've almost totally stopped it by sea. Now we'll stop it by land.
What's the next
But
step?
it worked. It never worked when you did it in a very politically correct manner.
What's the next step in this war on cartels? And are you considering options? Are you considering strikes on land?
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly, but we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control. We've had a couple of days where there isn't a boat to be found. And that, I view that as a good thing, not a bad thing. But we had tremendous amounts coming in by boats, by very expensive boats. They have a lot of money, very fast, very expensive boats that were pretty big. And the way you look at it is every boat that we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. So every time you see a boat and you feel badly, you say, wow, that's rough. It is rough, but if you lose 3 people and save 25,000 people, these are people that are killing our population. Every boat is saving 25,000 lives, and you can see it. The boats get hit, and you see that fentanyl all over the ocean. It's like floating in bags. It's all over the place, and it's a tremendous. We're saving tremendous amounts of lives. Yeah.
Mr. President, on that issue.
I know you've talked about, I have a question for you, and then I also have a question for Director Patel. I know you talked about having some distaste for Boston recently. Is this one of those cities that you might be looking into, and can you give us a hint about other cities that you might be?
You're saying for where? For where?
For Boston.
Yeah, well, Boston has a bad mayor who at least is a reasonable IQ person. Most of them are low IQ. But and they're so bad. What's going on in Chicago is just, you'd think the guy would say, hey, look, we have a problem, Mr. President. Could you come in and straighten it out? We could have that done in a month if we had their cooperation. It's going to be done anyway, but we could have it done in a month. Yeah, Boston, she's got 4 areas that are, wrong. And, somebody said, would we think about taking the World Cup away from Boston if they don't straighten it out? The answer is yes. We have the right to do that with FIFA. So if we think that LA is going to be bad, or we think that applies a little bit to the Olympics too, but we'll talk about FIFA first. FIFA is very hot. If we think there's any reason that whether it's Boston or anywhere else, that they're not doing their job. We're going to take those World Cup games and move them someplace else.
Thank you. And then Director Patel, there's been so many conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts. And we delivered in record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective to Luigi Mangione or the Boston Bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running out absolutely every single lead. And the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Okay?
Mr. President, thank you so much.
Thank you.
In light of China's export curbs on rare earths, do you view India as a reliable partner going forward? And are you planning to meet Prime Minister Modi in Malaysia? Are you open to talks in terms of
Yeah,
trade?
sure. He's a friend of mine. We have a great relationship. He just said that 2 days ago, as you know. We have a great relationship. No, we were not happy with him buying oil from Russia, because that lets Russia continue on with this ridiculous war where they've lost 1.5 million people. By the way, Russia's lost 1.5 million people, soldiers mostly. This is a war that should have never started, but it's a war that Russia should have won in the first week, and they're going into the 4th year. And I want to see it stop. So I was not happy that India was buying oil, and he assured me today that they will not be buying oil from Russia. That's a big stop. Now I got to get China to do the same thing. You know, that is relatively easy compared to what we just did over the last week in the Middle East. Middle East was 3,000 years, and we got it done. This is 3 years, and I think we'll get it done. I think that President Putin, I think he wants to get it done. We'll see. There's a great animosity between him and Zelensky. You probably have noticed, right? And it's. I think it's hurting the process. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, thank you. Curious, why did you authorize the CIA to go into Venezuela? And is there more information you can share about these strikes on the alleged?
Well, I can't
drug
do
bust
that,
in the
but
Caribbean?
I authorized me for 2 reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America. They came in through the, they came in through the border. They came in because we had an open border policy. And as soon as I heard that, I said, a lot of these countries, they're not the only country, but they're the worst abuser. And they've entered they've allowed thousands and thousands of prisoners, mental institution, people from mental institutions, insane asylums, emptied out into the United States. We're bringing them back. But that's a really bad, and they did it at a level that probably not, many countries have done it, but not like Venezuela. They were down and dirty. And the other thing are drugs. We have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela. And a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the sea, so you get to see that. But we're going to stop them by land also.
Does the CIA have authority to take out Maduro?
Oh, I don't want to answer a question like that. That's a ridiculous question for me to be given. Not really a ridiculous question, but wouldn't it be a ridiculous question for me to answer? But I think Venezuela is feeling heat, but I think a lot of other countries are feeling heat too. We're not going to let this country, our country, be ruined because other people want to drop, as you say, their worst. They have given us their worst. They've loaded up our country with prisoners, with mentally ill people that are seriously ill, criminally ill. And we're not going to take it. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things. And I can tell you, we've taken care of the sea. There's nobody, and we're watching. We're watching. And if we see it, we'll save it. Yeah, please.
On the ships, though, sir, there are Republicans and Democrats up on the Hill concerned that in the briefings they've gotten about those attacks, they're not necessarily getting information about who was on them and what exactly was on those ships. Can you ensure that?
But they are given information that they were loaded up with drugs, and that's the thing that matters. When they're loaded up with drugs, they're fair game. And every one of those ships were, and they're not ships, they're boats, they're speedboats. They're extremely fast, record-setting type speedboats that cost a lot of money, and they have a lot of money because they're drug sellers. But they know one thing, and they all have the same thing in common. There's drug dust. They call it drug dust. They call it fentanyl dust all over the boat after those bombs go off. And you can take along. We know before. We know when they go out. We know we have much information about each boat that goes out. deep, strong information. Yeah, please.
Sir, you're going to have Volodymyr Zelensky here this week. What is your message at this stage of the war for him? And shy of tomahawks.
To who is it?
For Zelensky.
Yeah.
Shy of tomahawks for Ukraine. Are you considering other options? And will you speak with Vladimir Putin about
No, we're looking at other options. We are. President Zelensky's coming in. I'm not a fan of the war. I'm not a fan of the way it started. It should have never happened. It wouldn't have started if I were president. The election was rigged. And because of that, we lost a lot of lives have been lost because of that war. Not American lives, but if I can save a lot of lives, that's why I'm in it. I want to save lives. I've had 8 wars. The Prime Minister of Pakistan got up the other day, said so beautifully, says, you saved millions of lives. He told that to a group of people right in this office. He said the president saved millions of lives. And I think what he's referring to is the fact that that would have been with India nuclear war. That was getting very close. 7 planes, they don't talk about it, but 7 aircraft were shot down. In fact, we have the new ambassador to India right here. They're well represented. You better represent us, not them, okay? But Sergio's going to do a great job. He's going to do a great job. But no, we'll be talking about the war with him, and we'll be talking about, they want to go offensive. I'll make a determination on that, but they would like to go offensive, you know that, and we'll have to make a determination.
Can I follow up with a question? Given you have the FBI Director and Attorney General here today, Jim Jordan has asked Jack Smith to appear in the House Judiciary.
You mean deranged, Jack? He's a deranged individual, yeah.
He's asked him to.
Well, they should. I'm surprised it takes so long. We're talking about violent crime. What about the crime against a political opponent? That's what we have to talk about too.
I would like to understand the full extent to which the Biden-Harris Justice Department weaponized federal law enforcement. What do you think the committee will find out?
I think it was the worst weaponization of a political opponent in the history of the world, let alone this country. And I hope that everybody's, they're involved in it. I'm not. I'm the one that had to suffer through it and ultimately win. But what they did was criminal. Deranged Jack Smith, in my opinion, is a criminal. And I noticed his interviewer was, I think that was Weissman. And I hope they're going to look into Weissman too. Weissman's a bad guy. And he had somebody in Lisa, who was his puppet, worked in the office really as the top person. And I think that she should be looked at very strongly. There was tremendous criminal activity having to do. If we don't have fair elections in this country, we're not going to have a country. And I've said it from the beginning, fair elections and borders. And
there's about 86 people in the building. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification. Continue to hit the like button, the thumbs up button. Thanks for being here. Fair use reaction clip. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.
Do take people into our country legally, but 0 people. But, you're talking about a different subject. You're talking about political crime. They have committed massive political crime. I hope they're looking at Shifty Schiff. I hope they're looking at all these people. And I'm allowed to find out. I'm allowed to, I'm, in theory, the chief law.
Okay, let's continue with Hot Topics.
On camera. He can lie down on one of those things, and in minutes, he's stone cold out.
Okay, because I don't know if the music in the back is going to be a problem. Let's continue with news. I guess this one boy thinks this is Obama. It's not. I'm going to continue. Many people are talking about the game. Not certain if I can play this clip, but if they would have had Shador in for those last, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes, we possibly could have won. And I may show you other clips in regards to people talking about Shador having a great game, and then they took him out. Okay, so I guess the young lady was doing pillow talk, and many people are talking about his girlfriend speaking up and speaking out. So I'll play a little bit of the clip.
Her significant other posted a TikTok saying, "My fiance Helen is not playing. I have thoughts about that, but I'm not going to share it." He got into a disagreement with a commenter on a post and wrote, "Actually, everyone in the building wants him to play." We see this all the time. We see.
So of course, girlfriend speaking out in regards to him playing. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. A lot going on with Ariana. Prayers, girl. Prayers. A lot of the people are speaking up and speaking out of how much weight that a lot of the cast have lost. doing that movie. There's that. I guess her and her are dating now. Remember, she was with the one guy, got a divorce, dated the other guy, got a divorce. Now, allegedly, her and her might be, it is what it is. People are concerned about.
Has something against this man after what we just watched. Now, let me set the scene for you.
Hold
the
on.
Browns are trailing the Titans by 8 with... I'm really starting to think the NFL has something against this man after what we just watched. Now, let me set the scene for you. The Browns are trailing the Titans by... Obviously, the Browns are going to go for 2 here to try and tie the game. And let me remind you that to this point, Shedeur is not only having the best game of his young career, but he's also having the best game of any rookie QB this season. So you would have to think on this 2-point play with the game on the line, they're going to put the ball in Bro's hands, right?
It's Judkins on the direct snap. He was supposed to pitch it, but didn't and couldn't. And now he's going to have to throw it, and he does, and it's incomplete.
So not only did the Browns not put the ball in Shedeur's hands, they didn't even put him on the field at all. They decide to run a wildcat to their running back instead. Are you kidding me? Look at this play. Do you just not want Sanders to succeed? Because I can't come up with any other explanation for this. I mean, if he's having a bad game, maybe this is fine, but not when he's putting up these numbers today. You're going to leave this man standing on the sideline to determine the game? I'm sorry, even I got to say something about this. This is absolutely crazy work by the Browns, and the only conclusion I can come up with is that they really don't want this man to win. I'm really starting to think the NFL has something against this man after what we just watched. Now, let me set the scene.
That's what
trailing the Titans by 8 with just over a minute left in the game.
Many people are saying about that game. So let's continue. Let's continue. I don't know if this is a real picture or fake. Many people have been doing a lot of AI pictures, so I can't confirm or deny if this is real or fake. They're saying this was 2 days ago. This might be AI. I'm just telling y'all now, this might be AI. I'm thinking it's AI, but here nor there. Krishan Rock is talking about Kai Cenat. There was a most recent award show, and the young lady was rude to Kai Cenat, talking about him in regards to the stream, and then talking about him and thinking that Kai Cenat was the one that just recently came out with a documentary. It wasn't Kai Cenat that came out with a documentary. It was Diddy. So I'll play a little bit of this.
It bothered me a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. Why did I just watch so much cracking? Like the whole, okay, I don't even really, I'm not in the streamer world. I try to get in the world, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, right? But why was the people that was getting clowned, it wouldn't be no streamer world without them. Without the people that was getting clowned. Without Kai, Rakai, and Tylil had to stand up for Kai. He didn't. And then, like, who was behind this award show? Like, who was really behind this award show? This is weird. It disturbed.
Rakai? Oh my.
So, the award show, I can't.
It disturbed me. Put my little 2 cents.
I can't play the clips, but go look it up. Kai Cenat's trending. Okay, this is interesting news, and I'll probably do a short regarding this, or I'll post it. But it's being reported that Google revealed that Ye's wife is the 7th person trending. I'm surprised that it's not the Kardashians, aren't y'all? As much as they like media attention, clicks, and views, look at where she ranked. That situation, Kendrick Lamar, Jimmy Kimmel, which we know, Jimmy Kimmel, in regards to his feelings, him being fired, then brought back, Tyler Robinson, which we understand in regards to the Charlie Kirk situation, RIP to Charlie Kirk. A lot of information going on in regards to what Candace feels. Turning Point USA wanted to meet with Candace, and they want Candace to come there, which she wants to live stream. Everyone wants her to live stream in versus going there. They were the last person to see Charlie Kirk here on Earth. So why would Candace go over there? She don't need to go. She can live stream. So there's a lot going on in regards to what Candace is saying. Turning Point employees are being called. Turning Point management is being called out. The whole situation in regards to what happened that day. If they did not want him there, why did he still go? That's the big question. Why wasn't there more protection in regards to his situation? Why didn't he just live stream in? Why go to a campus that allegedly had requests and they did not want him there? So I'm just trying to figure out, if people don't want you there, why go? And if there's concerns about unwanted comments, my husband not gonna keep doing debates like that. I'll Skype in. Y'all can project me on a projector. Anyway, Bianca Censori is number 7th on this list. So, and we see Shador Sanders is number 6. So we're just doing hot topics, trending topics right now. But I'm surprised people are Googling Bianca that much. But it's cool though. Are y'all surprised that the Kardashians not on that list? Are y'all surprised that none of the Kardashians are on that list? And they literally want to trend and go viral every week. Kim's been talking about Kanye. Kanye's been talking about Kim. Kanye's not happy how North is looking. He's trying to spend more time with his children. He allegedly stated, which there was a trial, so I don't know why Kanye would state that the robbery for Kim was fake when there was a trial. But Kanye's back to speaking up and speaking out. There's that. We were wondering if his wife would still be with him because we just recently saw her. And then go check out, look at Bianca's outfits for the last 2 years. Are some of those outfits very similar to what Kim copied? That's just the question. I don't know. I'm not a designer, but go check that out. So Kanye is speaking out that he needs to spend more time with his children. There's about 46 in the building. Please hit the subscribe button. We're just doing hot topics, trending topics. This young lady is basically saying she is, and see, this is sensitive context. I can't play what she's saying, but she said the N-word. It's being reported that Russell Wilson and Ciara are selling their home, their mansion, for $55 million. We're just doing hot topics, trending topics. Portia just recently showed a picture of who she's dating now. The like I told y'all before, these celebrities, Hollywood, Real Housewives, they love the trend. They love to go viral. They'll do anything to trend and go viral. So this is Shador is being talked about. These are his numbers. So congratulations to Shador for doing so well over the last 3 weeks. He won a game, then they lost a game, and then they could have won a game a few days ago, but then they took him out. So many people are wondering if they're trying to set him up and not see him succeed. Okay, so the Diddy documentary just came out. One of my friends had asked, do I want to sit and watch it? I was like, no, that's 4 hours of my life. I'm not trying to go there. I covered the trial. Many people are talking about it. So just kind of, look up YouTube and look it up. But sometimes you can get Diddy'd out. Diddy screwed over his lawyer. Allegedly, he was recording the lawyer. That could be an issue if the lawyer did not know he was being recorded. That could be an issue if the lawyer did not know he was being recorded. So that Diddy documentary is out. Many people say the first 1, 2, 3 episodes is what people have already talked about. The 4th episode is where there's a lot of information that's being, and allegedly some of the jurors are speaking out. Now, this is alleged too, whether there was a juror that took a picture with Diddy years ago. How could that be? And will that be an issue in regards to what happened with those jurors? But here nor there. That's a little bit of the update. Shador, these are his numbers. So let's continue. Many people are talking about the Shador situation. Kylie, Timothy can't confirm or deny if Kylie and Timothy are still together, but she's doing everything she can to try and look sexy. Recently, there's a pictures of she had something done with her back. We really haven't seen Kylie and Timothy together for about a month or so. But why doesn't he do Thanksgiving with the K's and the J's? I'm not certain if I saw a lot of pictures with Timothy around the K's and the J's. So sometimes people will want to date you but not be around your family. Possible. Or people are saying allegedly, and in their opinion, is his contract up? Because remember, Timothy was supposed to be there to help clean Kylie's image up. And what do I mean by that? Kylie dated Tyga at what age? Kylie dated Travis Scott. And now she's dating, she was dating Timothy. I don't know if they're still together, but here nor there. Here nor there. There's that. Hold on.
Do you feel like it's more
Hold on.
your team as the quarterback now compared to a couple weeks ago?
I mean, a couple weeks ago, I wasn't the starter. It's only like, what, second, third game?
But how much more just how much more comfortable do you feel in that role?
I mean, I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable. You gotta understand, like, that's just kind of like the situation I'm in, and I'm fine with that. I love that, you know, cause my story and everything inspires people to make sure, even if they're in uncomfortable positions and situations, to stay on course and keep that mental strong, you know, and be able to push through adversity, knowing that you'll be able to see the other side one day.
So in some of the press conferences, they be trying to trip him up. Shedeur Sanders has had a great press conference training. He's not going to let them be negative to him. He's just not going to let it happen. This is Kim getting dressed for the trial, and then she's focused on her outfits, and then she's trying to tell that lady that she's thinking about wearing a bunch of diamonds. Kim will do anything to trend and go viral, period. You're talking about possibly wearing a bunch of diamonds, and then back in the day when this all happened, she said she didn't want to wear no diamonds because that's what alleged caused the issue for them to do what they did, allege. But she's saying she wants to be a show off. She was saying that she wanted to focus on her outfits and possibly wear a bunch of diamonds. You know, it is what it is. Those Kardashians are something else. Do a lot to try to go viral.
I feel that most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
So there's that. Like the video. Is this person being kind? Be kind in the comments. Be kind in the comments. Okay. So I don't know if they're throwing shade. So I'm gonna just time you out because many people need to be kind in the comments. I don't know if they're throwing shade to somebody else, but if they're trying to throw shade to me, I'm not accepting it. Go hug yourself. So let's continue. Like I said, we're just doing hot topics, trending topics. Marjorie Taylor, not really going to go into that. I think she's going to walk away after January, February. She's going to basically get her retirement and she's walking away. So many people are talking about this coach because they're not happy about how he's handling situations, how he's not giving great praise to Shedeur as well. Many people are calling out this Brown situation. So I'll probably do some shorts tonight. I've been covering it. If y'all didn't know, around Thanksgiving time, Ray J was arrested for what he was doing in front of Princess Love and the daughter. The Twitch live stream will no longer let him live stream on their stream. Is Ray J okay? Right now, if you don't know, he has a defamation lawsuit against the Kardashians, and then Ray J decided to sue the Kardashians. They're going back and forth, and then he had a situation with Princess Love. Many people are saying it's great that a mom wants the father to spend time with their children on Thanksgiving, but when Ray J is on one, and you can see on his live stream he's on one, she probably should have had Ray J come to her house. Because he probably convinced her come to my house because he wanted to live stream, and he probably didn't want to bring his equipment to her house. But Ray J has been tripping out. Go back and look at the last month of how he makes his one girl that he was dating cry on the live stream. Ray J's been tripping out lately. He needs to chill out. Now, his sister Brandy and Monica are on tour, and he's trying to get attention. Why not focus on your sister doing her tour and promoting that and the positive things about that? But no, instead, Ray J wants to trend and go viral about silly stuff, making the girl cry on the stream, doing the situation. And this never should have happened with Princess Love and the daughter. He never should have been acting like that around his children. He went to jail, he got out. So when this court case comes up, Ray J could be doing some serious time. He struggled going to jail for those 24 to 72 hours, however long he was in there. He struggled being there for that amount of time frame. He's told everybody, don't go to jail. It's not for everybody. No, sir, it's not for everybody. You should have been kind and considerate around your wife. She's still his wife. And around your children. You got to make better choices, sir, around your children. And we've seen that Ray J tries to be a great dad, but you can't be a great dad doing what you did in front of that child and in front of Princess, who is your wife. And remember, just 3-4 weeks ago, probably even less than that, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he was saying, I want to go back to my wife. I miss my wife. But then when you're around your wife, you did XYZ. He had just told the girl that he was dating, I miss my wife. I want to go back to Princess. Then you're around Princess and you do that. So everybody keeps asking, is Ray J okay? Remember how Kylie Jenner fooled Forbes in believing that she was a billionaire? Remember how that happened? And then they found out she's rich. She's rich because they do a lot of promotions. They sell a lot of products. But remember when she fooled Forbes in thinking that she was a billionaire? So there's that. Like I said, Kylie has a lot of cleanup situations that she needs to deal with. Not going to go into that. We're just doing some hot topics, trending topics. This is a picture of Shador with friends, maybe his teammates. I don't know. Stefon Diggs plans for Cardi B through the Cardi B recently just had a baby with Stefon Diggs. Many people have been talking about Stefon Diggs' dating history and allege there's other women that may be having his child within the next 2-3 months. So there's that. Many people were like, wow, Cardi B, of all men to date, you decided to date Stefon Diggs. Of all men, of all football players to date, she decided to date Stefon Diggs. Many people feel Stefon Diggs is way worse, way worse than who she was dating before. I'm trying to think. Offset. Many people feel that Stefon Diggs is worse than Offset. Because right now, if it is true that other women are pregnant with his child, that's way worse than what Offset was doing. And there's different allegations about Stefon Diggs, and I'm not going to get into, but look up his name. He's trending in regards to having other women pregnant. He's trending in regards to having a baby with Cardi B, and he's trending in regards to lawsuits. I will say that. So go look that up. Like I said, we're just doing hot topics, trending topics, but over here I kind of give you homework. He did a breakdown.
Is their future. He's a franchise quarterback in the National Football League, and if anybody doubts that, just show them this. This is the most comprehensive and exciting tape, fully comprehensive, of Shador Sanders' most recent game. Watch these plays I'm going to show you, and they're not all just highlights, but I want to lead with the headlines. This play right here, Shador Sanders assessing the line of scrimmage, and then what does he do after making the assessment? He throws an absolute perfect dot. An absolutely perfect dot to David Njoku right there. I'm zooming in so you can see it. I mean, the ball cannot be handed any better than this. When I tell you Shador Sanders has officially arrived, I'm not saying that hyperbolically. I'm saying that in all sincerity. Shador Sanders did stuff in the game today that you just don't see out of young Qs. Patience, poise, and then again, deliver a perfect strike. What I want to do when I show you all these clips, I want to lead with the headlines. What I mean by that, I want to lead with the most exhilarating plays, and then we'll get to some of the more mundane but still great plays a little bit later. That was his first touchdown to David Njoku. Shador Sanders had 393 yards, 4 total touchdowns, 358 through the air. This was a 60-yard dot to Jerry Jeudy. First, I'm going to show you the play, then I'm going to explain the play. 60 yards, dot on a rope. So Acho, how does it happen? Hey, let's run it back. The Titans are in a coverage I used to call tan. What is tan? Hey, you're going to play him inside out. Jerry Jeudy cannot beat this player inside. If indeed he does beat this player inside, this defender, if he has an in-breaking route, he's going to fall into the second window, assuming in-breaking route. He'll be here to pick it off. What does Shador do so great? Patience. Let Jerry Jeudy clear the second window and then throw it on a rope. Make sure y'all catch this. Let Jerry Jeudy clear the second window and then Shador throw it on a rope. If Shador gets too excited and throws it sooner, it's picked. Let him clear the second window, throw it in stride. Perfect. That's how you get a 60-yard passing touchdown. Again, yak, yards after catch. It is timing, plus accuracy. You don't get yak in the NFL by coincidence. It's timing plus accuracy. When I'm telling you Shedeur did a lot of good things, he did a lot of good things. This might be my favorite one. You can see the weather's bad at this point. Why is this my favorite? Look closely at Shedeur. What's Shedeur doing? Checks. He's making checks. This is telling me he's cerebral. Okay, he's making checks. He brought this receiver in to come chip block. Shedeur's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to check this to a wheel route. But in order to check this to a wheel route and out and up, I need more time. How do I get more time? By bringing that receiver in, hey, chip this defensive end. Give me a little bit more time. Shedeur, he called his own number and threw an absolute dot. You can't play man coverage versus Shedeur. Not if he has a clean pocket. Check, call his own number, and then look at the ball. Let me zoom in. Look at the ball, people. Perfect.
Ha! I love that breakdown. Let's continue. Not going there in regards to Khloe. Khloe loves to talk on her podcast. Are people really listening? Why Khloe Kardashian says she hasn't slept with the lights off. Anyway, I'm not a huge fan of Khloe. When she first started her podcast, the things that she was talking about, interesting. She's talked about she hasn't had quality time with the man for many, many years. She let Tristan get into her life, and many people feel that there was a change, a shift there. She wanted a man, and he wanted to be single. He cheated how many times? Tristan cheated how many times? Walking around, holding hands with girls, kissing other girls, and Khloe still want to be a part of his life. Why? Why? Those Kardashians are something else to where they want to have a man, and they choose a man to have children with, and they want to attach themselves to that. Kylie has her children alleged with Travis Scott. Kim has her children alleged with Kanye West. Khloe has her children alleged with Tristan Thompson. And then Kourtney has her children with Scott Disick and Travis Barker. So they choose a man they want to have those children by, and many people call them baby mamas. This is the other thing. Kourtney is the only sister that's married. Kourtney's the only sister that's married, and they brought a lot of drama to Kourtney. I've even seen more stories since I've been saying Kourtney's the only sister that's married. I've seen a lot of stories about Kourtney and Travis, more than I've seen late. They'll bring a lot of drama, and they do, around Kourtney marriage. Now, Kim was being married. She would want to be celebrated. She wouldn't have let nobody in the family bring drama to her wedding. She would not allow anybody to bring drama to her. Yeah, at all. So there's that. Those Kardashians are something else. They like to shade each other for clicks and views. They like to talk about each other for clicks and views. They like to flaunt things for clicks and views. They like to trend and go viral for clicks and views. There's a lot of drama surrounding them, and they love it. And then many people are calling them out because they're bringing the children in media. Many people are calling out the Kardashians because they're bringing children into the media, especially Kim. Kim is being called out and receiving a lot of backlash in regards to North, as she should. Some of the outfits that North was wearing were very adult-like. Not saying, but sometimes she would dress North in similar outfits as herself. So Kim would allow North to wear adult-like content outfits. She would sometimes dress her in men outfits, and then sometimes she would dress her in outfits that were just not favorable. So Kim is being called out. So now Kim getting the backlash, Kim turning on herself in regards to her allegedly not passing the bar yet. Then she blamed it on Kanye for her stress. Then she blamed it on ChatGPT. Kim blamed ChatGPT. Then she blamed the psychics for her not passing the bar. And now she's bringing in her health concerns. Whenever Kim gets a major backlash, she'll have something health related that she'll tell people. Yeah. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've watched in regards to different situations. So and then there's posts that showing that Kim is saying no big deal how North is dressing. Okay, she's 13. many people are calling her out regarding that. Then there was a post that said no big deal in how she's dressing. No big deal in regards to her having the nail piercing. Here nor there. There's a lot going on. It's being reported that Diddy assisted in people in the Thanksgiving meal. I can't confirm or deny if he really helped in regards to paying to make sure they had a proper Thanksgiving. This helps him too. If he did donate or pay $1,000 for them to have a decent meal, this helps him too to have a decent meal if he did help organize this. So right now, like I said, we're just doing hot topics, trending topics. Okay, Waka Flocka's talk about the documentary, and he's saying after he saw the documentary, some of the clips I can't play, so it's just easy for me to tell you what's being said. Waka Flocka saying he is so grateful that he did not follow in regards to what a lot of the industry people was going to do, what they were doing, going to different events. He is so grateful he didn't do XYZ, because many people can't come back and say he did XYZ. He basically saying he was more so focused on dating, being married, having a family, and he's so watchful since the documentary came out, and he's keeping an eye on people. Go watch the clip. It's on the Shade Room. But he's basically talking about he saw the documentary and he's keeping an eye on people. Not going to talk about that. People are talking about Shador. Kandi Todd are going through a divorce. He's asking for full custody. There's a lady that did a really great breakdown of Kandi and Todd and them going through their divorce. And many people are wondering if the prenup is valid. Because remember, if you get a prenup, you should try and get a prenup. This is not legal advice. We're just basically, we talked about this before. If you're going to get a prenup, you should definitely try and get a prenup 6 to 7 months before, 7 months preferably. Todd signed his prenup the day of the wedding. They've been talking about the prenup, but he signed it the day of the wedding. So you got to be very cautious. And then allegedly he signed the prenup in front of Kandi's lawyer. I don't think Todd's lawyer was there. So we're wondering if this prenup is going to be thrown out. If you're getting married, get the prenup 6 to 7 months before. If you can't get it 6 or 7 months before, you might have to delay that wedding. Not legal advice, but you got to be careful. You got to protect yourselves. There's this huge, great honeymoon stage when you're first dating someone, and then the true colors come out. There are marriages that have lasted 50, 60, 70 years. They're happy, they're bliss. Some things change. You got to remember, a lot of people spend more time at work than they do almost with their family. And then when they are with their family, they're asleep from working 40 to 50 hours a week. So sometimes people will fall in love with a coworker. Why? Because they're at the job so much. Hello? So it's being also alleged that Todd allegedly has been talking to other women outside of Kandi. That's what's being alleged. So we're just doing hot topics, trending topics. New studies finds that women prefer to date a funny man who less attractive than them. This may be possible. Kim loves to trend in regards to Pete. She loves to trend in regards to Pete. After they broke up, every other month or every month she was talking about Pete. Pete's in a whole new relationship. Pete was in a whole new relationship and Kim was still talking about Pete. So there's Cardi B looking snatched. This is the coach conversating about the game.
Last 2-point conversion. Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously it did not go as we thought it would. Did you make that call or did Tommy? Yeah, I make every call.
So he made the call to take Shador out, and they lost. He makes the call, and he took Shador out, and they lost the game from that play. Hold on. So recently, Kim and Khloe, they were with Britney. Britney was trending because Candace Owens had talked about Britney and the Kardashians and the financial management, but many people have been calling Scott out in regards to how he flirted with Kim and Khloe. Gross. What other person do you know that flirts with an ex? This is the children's father flirting with Chloe all the time, hanging out with Kim. What family do you know where the baby father is flirting with the sisters? Not too many. It's really gross. They keep Scott around to help them trend to go viral. So when Scott wanted to move, they didn't like that because he helps keep the story going. They can literally sit and talk with Scott about what's going on in media. Scott wanted to move in regards to everything that was going on in LA. And then he's probably tired of being the go-to person to sit and listen to their woes. And then he probably wants to date in peace. But Scott has so many children with Courtney that it would be hard for him to move. And how would the kids wouldn't want to travel back and forth. Even if he moved, maybe he should just move a state over. But the Kardashians don't want to lose Scott from helping them trend to go viral. This is a picture that's been going around. I think they're stating that this is in a stadium of the Cleveland Browns, and this is a picture of Shedeur. Great picture, because even this is going viral too. Gene Deal had been talking about him in the Misa situation, and Misa is blaming Gene Deal about people saying stuff about Misa. So Gene Deal is basically saying he only has allegedly repeated what he's heard. Many people are talking about the documentary, people in the documentary, and Gene Deal has been talking about things that he heard. But also, go over to this clip. It's very interesting what he's stating. I can't play it because it's from the Art of Dialogue, but go check out this clip. It's very interesting what he said about Misa and the son and Diddy and the ex-bodyguard. Very interesting. He was dropping a dime in this clip. He really was. Okay, this is Cleveland Browns, Shedeur, and many people feel, are they trying to sabotage?
And the Cleveland Browns are trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders' career. There's no other explanation. Pull Shedeur Sanders out of the game after Shedeur's fourth touchdown in order to could have potentially tied the game, running the dumbest play call in the history of football. There's never been a worse one called for a two-point conversion. Now, you couple that with the fact that the Browns are releasing reports that they have Deshaun Watson and they think he's doing a great job of helping these young quarterbacks, and that they still see Deshaun Watson maybe as the future of their franchise, especially because they're paying him so much money. This is all just a way to make Shedeur look bad so they can elevate Deshaun deep massage Watson and make it appear as if he is the better quarterback, when right now, I would bet my future on Shedeur Sanders far beyond Deshaun Watson. But with the play calling and everything else we've seen the Browns do to Shedeur this year, if I'm in Shedeur Sanders' camp, my only real wish is to get him out of Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns are trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders' career. There's no other explanation for why he would pull Shedeur Sanders out of the game after Shedeur's fourth touchdown in order to run a two-point conversion that could have potentially tied the game, running the dumbest play call in the history of football. There's never been a worse one called for a two-point conversion. Now, you couple that with the fact that the Browns are releasing reports that they have Deshaun Watson and they think he's doing a great job of helping these young quarterbacks, and that they still see Deshaun Watson maybe as the future of their franchise, especially because they're paying him so much money. This is all just a way to make Shedeur look bad so they can elevate Deshaun deep massage Watson and make it appear as...
Okay, so many people have been talking about the Shedeur situation. I wish another team would have picked him up. People probably don't really know. Why do I cover the Shedeur situation? One, when the draft was going on, I literally watched the draft for almost 4 or 5 hours with a friend. I did. And how they're treating Shedeur and the conversations about Shedeur. Shedeur had number 2. He's wore number 2. He had number 2. Many people bought number 2 jersey, and then his changed to 12, and that jersey did really well too. And his number 2 jersey did really well. I did a short on that too. So, well wishes to Shedeur. He's keeping a positive attitude on everything that's going on with him. He could really be saying a lot, but he don't. So, keep an eye on Shedeur. Wish him well, because there's a lot going on in Browns. Okay, this is the event. I can't play it because I don't want to get flagged, but this young lady is shading Kai Cenat, and then she is the one that's basically saying, oh, congratulations on the documentary, and it's really not him. So then there was a guy in the audience saying, your jokes are poor. Your jokes are poor. It's not even funny. And he basically should have said, you should do better jokes. Don't insult a man that's doing well. That's what he should have said. But at least he stuck out for Kai Cenat. She did a poor job, but we're so used to different cultures trying to shade us when we're doing well. So Kai Cenat's doing well in regards to trending and streaming. This young lady tried to shade him, and many people are sticking up for Kai Cenat. She never should have said what she said because it wasn't okay. And I'm glad that young man spoke up for Kai Cenat. So this is Shador walking into the game, looking really nice, looking really nice, looking really nice. So congratulations to him. He's been through a lot. There's a lot going on with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will. I can't play this clip, but y'all need to go over to TMZ and listen to that. A lot going on. Bilal is making allegations about Will and Jada. Bilal is making a lot of different allegations, and I can't confirm or deny what he says is factual or not, but he's making a lot of allegations about Will and Jada. Can't confirm or deny if those allegations are true or false. Now, where do you go listen to Bilal? Bilal was on Tasha K, and I think she recently just did a clip in regards to Bilal. So go check that out. So you love watching them, you can go ahead and watch them. I don't watch the show. The Kardashians are something else, and they're bringing the children in media, and they're not protecting the children's privacy. I don't like it. So there's that. If you over here thinking I'm going to support, I don't really care for how they treat people. I don't really care how they culture appropriate, and I don't care for how they are utilizing the children. I'm the wrong person for support for that. You like them, that's cool. That's on you. Recently, Shannon Sharpe did an interview with this young lady. She's been on many podcasts talking about men and their relationships, fatherhood, being in loving relationships. I really didn't see this clip. I'm not a huge fan of her. I listened to Shannon Sharpe, but I kind of stopped listening as much when he had his allegations about him. So, Mrs. Bryant is a coach, and her relationships have been questioned. Shannon Sharpe relationships have been questioned. But I want to say he did an interview with her. Was it last week or the week before? So there's that. This is some of the throws in regards to what Shador had a good plays. Was there anything else? Not gonna really go there about the Kardashians. Many people were talking about the documentary in regards to Diddy. Did he give the funeral bill to Biggie's estate? And I guess we're hearing that Biggie's estate stated that, let's see, the Notorious Big estate manager denies and Diddy used Biggie's money to pay for his funeral. So they're denying that Diddy sent the bill to Biggie's estate. There's a lot going on. That's probably the other reason why I don't want to really cover it, because I can't confirm or deny what that documentary is saying or is true or false. Because many people were calling Diddy out, because you probably don't know. Many people were calling Diddy out because it was alleged that Diddy sent the bill to Biggie's estate to pay his funeral. He made almost all the decisions, and then allegedly they're trying to say he sent the bill to Biggie's estate. So there's that. And Biggie's estate is saying the statements are false. Corey LeRae is talking about relationships. I'm not going to play that clip either, so you can kind of go over there. But many people are talking about Shador. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. These are some of the people that have major jets. Let's see, the most expensive celebrity-owned jets. Okay, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about, y'all. But I've been live for 1 hour and 29 minutes. I hope all 84 people have subscribed. I got to get my subscribers up, you guys. I haven't been live since Thursday. So I hope everyone on here have subscribed. If all 99 people subscribe, that'll be a great day for me. So please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. Got to get my subscribers up. We're trying to hit 50K. We're trying to hit 50K. I was hoping to hit 50K by this year, but it doesn't look like I might hit it. But I still could. December's not over. So, I appreciate everyone. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Everyone, have a great Monday. I am. The holidays are here. Be vigilant when you go out shopping. Be vigilant. Put your gifts maybe in the trunk. Lock the trunk. Be vigilant of who's watching you. If there's an uncomfortable situation, you might have to leave, come back if you feel someone's watching you, or sometimes, contact security guard if you're having a concern. The security maybe can come out in the outside with you if there's a concern and they see you talking to security guard, and maybe the security guard can write down the plate. But be very cautious shopping this holiday season. Watch your money. If people are giving you gifts, maybe just not buy them, a $100 gift. Maybe just buy them a $20 or $30 gift. Don't go broke this holiday season. Watch your finances. You see what's going on with the world. Try and have, we said this before, this is not a financial channel, I'm not giving financial advice, but we're just saying, try and have 6 to 7 months, 8 months of savings, because there's a lot going on. Have a great day, everyone. Be blessed. Goodbye.